Hello, hello, hello. I'm Susanna Mihailovich. Welcome to the Success Series interviews. Today I have another very, very, very special person with me. He is a dear friend. He is a colleague. He's also a part of our extraordinary Your Two Minds community, and that is the one and only Chris Payne. So just a little bit about this incredible person that you will all get to meet in a moment. So Chris was born in Adelaide, Australia, grew up in Australia. He is currently living the dream. So half the year him and his beautiful wife live in Bali. The other half they come to Australia. So what a great way to live. So a little bit about Chris. He has had huge success in business. He has had his own financial business before. He has been reading and studying personal growth material for, I think it was over 30 years, and more recently has become a Proctor Gallagher Institute consultant, where he worked with the incredible Bob Proctor. So that's where I met him. He is one of my colleagues. He's a mentor. He is a coach. He's also an elite sports person, I believe, loves his riding, bike riding. So success is his word all round. But most importantly, Chris Payne is one beautiful, incredible human being, and you will all notice that. So let's welcome the one and only incredible Chris Payne. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Suzanne. Oh my God, what beautiful words. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled, that's for sure.
Oh, it's great to have you with us, Chris. Welcome to the Success Series interviews.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, Susanna, that you've put up, and they've been really great. I mean, there's been a fantastic group of people that have been involved in the series, and I know from the group that I've worked with in the masterminds, we've got a crazy group. We're just an outrageous group of people there. Some brilliant minds, and we just support each other so well. And the overall, obviously, the course of Your Two Minds itself, when the whole group comes back together, that's been outstanding. That's it. It's certainly it's a very, very enjoyable participation from my point, and your knowledge and your help and your guidance, and that has been outstanding. And I know that I speak for everybody.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Success Magnet coaching program is a very special program, but not only that, we have been lucky to attract the most incredible people to that program. But let's talk about you. So tell us a little bit about you. So you are living the dream. You live part-time in Adelaide, and you're in Bali at the moment. Tell us
Yes.
a bit more about you.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I mean, from most people's perspective, and most people look at things, they say, "Yeah, I am living the dream," and I've got so many friends that have told me that. All I can say is, if to live the dream, you've got to work and make the effort to get yourself in a position to do it. It doesn't come easy.
Yes.
There's life is not a flat road. It never is. There's always twists and turns, and that's what the journey's all about. But yeah, we do. I mean, nowadays I have a very good lifestyle. I love what I do and what I'm able to do from here. We do spend probably more time here in Bali now than we do in Adelaide, mainly because the weather's so good up here, and we do head back. Yeah, head back for just events like the motor racing when it comes up later in the year in Adelaide, and then the cycling, and then the fringe, and then the golf. So, there's a few things on. That's why we go back at that time of the year. It's really the good times. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chris, I love your journey, because you have had, decades of success in business. You had your own, I think it was a financial advice company, if I'm not wrong. You are now, coaching other people. What is your definition of success?
That's a very good question. My definition of success, I guess it's different for all of us. My definition of success is being able to be in a position where the knowledge and everything that I've gained has obviously helped me get to where I am today. I was in business for 35 years in my practice, had a very good practice. I had a good team of staff, around about 19 people working for me. And the journey that I had on that, I mean, I absolutely love that because I love the people I work with. I love seeing the results of the people. And I guess that's what drives me. People say to me, is it the money? Is it the money? I mean, we earn obviously very good money, but we put the work into earning that. But as I used to say to my clients, I mean, money's not everything, but it's up there with oxygen. You need to have it so you've got choices. And that's what it does. So it gave me choices to be able to have a lifestyle that I wanted and be able to give back, and give back to people. And I guess that's what the coaching is doing now for me. In this regard here, it's allowing me to give back. I mean, it's an interesting journey, Susanna. I mean, I've been coming to Bali probably for about 45 years now. So it's been quite a long while. And I met Simone here about 8 years ago. Met this incredible person, and we just clicked straight away. It's just been fantastic ever since. But I used to come to Bali, and I used to start it off probably about 10 days a year here. Then I would be up to 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. And in the last few years when I was here, before I retired and sold the business, I was probably here for about a month and a half. And I say this, and I've said this to my clients, and I said it to my staff, and everything is that it is amazing where you can learn about yourself and learn about life. And I've got to say that I learned so much from the Balinese people and the Indonesian people. They taught me a lot of things about life that, as a Western culture, we've lost. And I used to take their teachings back with me and talk to my staff about it. So that we were, unfortunately, I had staff that were on the same page, that really wanted to adopt the principles that I was talking about. But these people here have nothing, affluence-wise. They're not rich people, but they are so rich in so many other things if you're prepared to listen. And I would sit down out the front of their shops in the gutter while they were having a smoke, talk to them, and I would learn. The knowledge they imparted to me was so good, and I can never, ever...
Yeah, I agree. I was in Bali last year and absolutely love the people. And I agree that there's so much we can learn from them. What are the top 3 things that you would give to our listeners in terms of enhancing their life based on what you have learnt from the Balinese people? So the top 3 things.
Without a doubt, number one is the way that they interact with you, the individual. You're the most important person that they meet. It doesn't matter whether they meet you at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. You are the most important. You are made to feel special when you go in. You are made to feel very, very special, and you are treated with that. That's definitely number one. Number 2 is the kindness that they offer is unbelievable. They're such a kind, giving, and friendly people. And number 3, which I'd love to have, which is one of their traits I would love to have, is that they remember names like no effort. You may not have seen someone for 2 years, and you'll be walking down the street and this voice will call out, "Hey, Mr. Chris, Mr. Chris." And you go, "Who the hell is that?" And you give them your name once and they never forget it. And that's how that is amazing. That is truly amazing.
Wow.
And they address you all the time when they see you. They talk to you. "Hey, Mr. Chris, how are you doing?" "Oh, Mr. Chris, hey, Mr. Chris," because they have that teaching that they still respect older people. And I'm not saying
yeah, absolutely. I love those 3 things, because sometimes we can get so busy and caught up in our own world, and we don't realize the impact that we're having on others. So the top 3 things were, kindness. Kindness was the second one, wasn't it? And first one is always seeing the best in a person. I guess when you see them, you feel the other person it's an impression of increase, isn't it? It's what we teach, what Bob has taught us. So leave everybody with an impression of increase. The second one, kindness. And remember people's names. I think us Westerners, that's all three of those are huge lessons for us. And not only that, you know, when you leave people with an impression of increase, when you practice kindness, you know, when you remember people's names, you actually feel a lot better about yourself too. And you bring that energy home. But you never know whose day, whose life you will impact by practicing those three simple things. That's just amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
So simple. So simple,
So
Suzanne. We
simple.
forgot how to do
Yeah,
it. So simple. Doesn't cost anything.
absolutely. No, it doesn't cost anything, and it improves everyone's life. And when you're in that energy, you know, you can always open up. It helps you open up to greater success. And I absolutely love your story. You know, you had a multi-million-dollar company with staff and everything and all of that before you retired, and then knew that retirement wasn't for you. So you're now helping other people. From your experience with leading your company, let's stick with the number 3. What would your three top things that you would advise our listeners and our viewers about their own success from your own experience?
I think the most important thing, whether they're in business for themselves or they're not in business, whether they have staff working for them or they don't have staff working for them, the most important thing is how, on the first meeting, when you meet somebody, how you come across to them. You know, I always said to my girls that were on the switchboards that they were the most important person in the company. Whatever they did determined what happened after. So if they were really good with what they did and the way they greeted the client when they rang in or they made an appointment, everything went great from there. And so it's so important to get that first thing right. Even if you haven't got staff, it's you. When you go to see somebody, try and find out something about them. Try and find out a little bit about them if you can, so that you can go to them. So you're showing them that you're interested in them first. So you know that's
so
is to know. Yeah. It's to know a bit about the person you're going to talk to, and being able to go in there. And once you establish that, helps you establish a great rapport. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, and it's so interesting to watch that if you get those two things right for a start, the rest will fall into place. Whatever you want to do, the person you're dealing with will fall into place. I mean, I used to businesses, a lot of businesses everywhere, because I had clients obviously all over the place, and I would go into companies, and you know, I would be astounded at the way that they, you know, you go in and they go in, yeah, hi, what are you here for? You know, can I help you, mate? You know, it's like, seriously, you know, it's like they just don't realise the impression they give across. And so I was very, very conscious, and that just goes back to what I learned, because what we were saying before is, you elevate people to another level, then they will go with you on the ride. They'll get on the bus with you. So, you know, those are just important elements to always remember with people.
Yes.
And we live in a world where we don't interact anymore. You know, it's all push button. You know, press button, press 2, press 3. Never wanted one of those. I wanted a live, true human being there. And you've got to remember the people you deal with nowadays, a lot of those people spend time working with just pushing buttons. So we all need to have an interaction with each other, because we can all learn from each other, and we can all grow, and we can all make each other feel good and bring value to life.
Love that. Love that. So number 1, leaving everybody with an impression of increase, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That would be the number 1 success advice that you would give. What about number 2 and number 3?
Number 2 is whatever you say you're going to do. If you promise something,
Yes.
absolutely. You know, integrity is absolutely critical to me, and it always has been. There's only one person that I have to face every day, and that's me in the mirror. and I can look in the mirror and know that my integrity has never been compromised. So, integrity is absolutely key. If you're going to say you're going to do something for somebody, do it. If you promise them to do something, do it. In fact, over-deliver if you have to, but do it that way. So that will make a huge difference in the way that you interact and the way that you work with people. And from that point is follow them up as well. Don't just think that you've done the work and you've seen them or whatever. Follow them up. Stay in contact with them. When we used to send emails out to clients, I used to say to the staff, ring them a day later or 2 days later, make sure they got the email. It's just a courtesy call. And it's just a follow-up. If they ring in and they have an inquiry and we say, look, we'll get back to you with that today. And then you don't get back to them. You don't bother getting back to them because there's been a hold-up on whatever you're chasing up. Get back to them and tell them. I never left a stone unturned with follow-up to people and making them feel the best. Like we had our motto and our email was when I had my business coach back in the early days, I came up with a motto for our email was it's because we care. And that was our motto. It's because we care at the Payne. So we lived that. We drank, we ate, we did everything existed around that. That was our key. And that was all our station, everything we did.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. What I love about your top 3 principles of success, that is that every single one of them are about the other person. There was nothing in there about you. It was all about relationships. So you said, find out about the person, leave everybody with an impression of increase. Number 2, so leave everybody with an impression. Number 2 was integrity. Do what you say that you're going to do. And integrity is one of my high core values. I will not do business with anyone that hasn't got integrity. And number 3, stay in contact. So you built this empire by focusing on the other person, by focusing on how to improve the life of other people. And it's interesting, 2 things stood out for me as you were sharing that. It sounds like that was the culture of your team too. So you said, the ladies at the front desk or that were doing the calls, you made them feel like they were the most important person on the team because they were.
Absolutely.
So the team. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
We did. We sweated blood together. We did everything together. And I used to always take the staff out every year. We had a Christmas dinner. We had a mid-year dinner. We'd have the day off for Melbourne Cup Day. We'd give them the day off. We'd take them out for the day. And we set some big goals at different times. And one of the goals was to come to Bali. So one year I brought all my staff and their partners to Bali for 10 days. So
wow.
That was what it was. That was, I believe that, they were the most important people in the business with me, with my staff, next to our clients. I looked after them, they would look after them.
What a great place to work. What a great attitude. What a great way of seeing, success and your team. And, it's all about the people. So that was the first thing that stood out for me. And the other thing was it's similar to the culture in Bali, but most importantly, knowing you, and I've known you for probably about 2 years now, 2 or 3 years, this is who you are as a person. This is not something that you actually preach, Chris. This is who you are. In my experience, this is who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in Bali for a seminar I was speaking at, and a client created this incredible retreat. So I went to Bali and I was in Ubud, and Chris is on the other side. I think you're in Seminyak, is that right? Or somewhere on the other side, on the beach.
Yeah, beach side, in Byron.
And I decided to go to Uluwatu for a couple of days. Chris and his wife made the effort to make sure they came to see me, and we had a coffee together and a chat. So Chris does not just preach this, it's his way of life. It is who he is. Relationships, people, connection, And what a great way to create a business.
Yeah, I mean, if you do everything right, and look, I don't do everything right. I make mistakes the same as everyone does, but if you do it right, it's rewarding and the results will be there. I'm a great believer in that. You know, if you look after people, they'll look after you. Um, but yeah, and it was good. We had a great catch up with you. It was really nice to pop down and see you while you were what would you call it? De-stressing from the seminar at that pretty interesting place there. And then we got told off for taking a photo, remember?
Yeah, no, it was really great meeting you in person, and we did have a great time. So mindset, let's talk about mindset just really quickly. You've been studying personal development for I think it was 30 years. You started off with, you only recently found out about Bob Proctor, and that led you to become a consultant. But you had read many books, one being Psycho-Cybernetics. I think it was Jim Rohn was another person that you were listening to and reading. So you've had the experience, you've got the knowledge. What would be the top mindset piece of advice that you would share with anyone that's trying to reach a big goal? What is the most important to you?
I think the most important thing about mindset is being aware of the impact that the mindset has on everything you do in life. There isn't anything that we do in life that is not controlled by the mindset. And you're aware of that, Susanna, as much as I am. And yeah, look, I've been reading books and stuff for well over 40 plus years. I was back in the late 20s. I was already into the books and things, and I've had many coaches and mentors over the years as well in business. And mindset is the key in everything that you do. It will either make or break you. But I think we know more nowadays than what we've ever known about mindset, and there's more understanding, there's a lot more knowledge out there. But I don't care how much knowledge is out there, unless you actually put the work into place to do it, nothing is going to change. Nothing change.
Yes.
You know, there's plenty of books out there on mindset. There's plenty of things out there, and people know that and they read it, but they don't do it. That's the difference.
They don't apply it.
Yeah. Look, I think you know the story, but I mean, I was destined to be a cabinet maker. My grandfather was a cabinet maker. My dad was. The only subject I passed in school at high school, first year, was cabinet making. And Dad said, I think you better learn a few other subjects. So that was it. I never went on with cabinet making. I ended up taking a different path. Funny though, my son is a cabinet maker. So we could have had four generations of cabinet makers. So I look back on my life and, you know, I never learned about business. I was not a business person. I educated myself. I learnt myself. I mean, when I joined the financial industry, I was given a book and they said, right, go out and sell. Like that was it. That was my training. So I went out and taught myself how to do things. So, you know, that's been my journey, is that I've educated myself over a long time. And I've also put into practice what I've learned. And it is my DNA now and what I've learned from Bali as well. So my life has been molded. I'm nothing special. I'm no different. I'm just another person walking around on this planet. But I was just prepared to work a little bit harder and do the work that I needed to do, and understood that I needed to grow. And I still do. I'm a great believer in coaching. I still believe, and that's why I joined with you in your two minds, the magnets, because even though you're a coach, you still need someone coaching the coach. You can be coaching, but the coach still needs to be coached too. Your journey never ends. You know, as long as your bum points to the ground, the journey never ends. You know, putting it bluntly.
Definitely. I so agree. I agree with everything. First of all, I want to mention, like when mindset, you hit the nail on the head there. You know, there are so many law of attraction people that are saying, you know, oh, just read this book or just think about it or whatever, and it will happen. But they miss the point. And what you've said is application. Daily application is the key, and that's what's going to make a difference to your mindset. So you must keep at it. You must be persistent. And I totally agree with every coach has to have a coach. I mean, there are so many coaches out there, and I'm very reluctant on bringing coaches to my interviews because not all of them have the experience and also the I guess the integrity. You know, I solely believe it's a lifetime journey, and you must be doing what you're teaching your clients to do, and a part of that is stretching and growing yourself. So absolutely 100%. Chris, it's been an absolute honor having you with us. You are about to release an ebook. Tell us a little bit about your ebook. I've had the privilege of reading the draft, and it is magnificent. And also, let us tell our listeners where they'd be able to get a copy of your ebook too.
Oh, yeah, look, at the moment, it's not available. It will be within the next couple of weeks. It will be released. So there'll be a launch of that, and we will have it on our website, which is the lion.com website. There'll be a link there for it. But yeah, it's coming out. It's taken me a while to do it. And it has, as I said, officially there's been no release. The release will come up in the next couple of weeks. But it's called The Elephant in Your Mind, and it's talking about exactly the mindset and what it's all about. And this book is a little different because this book actually has some amazing graphics through the book. It's not just print. There are some graphics that you will not see anywhere in this book because they were created by me for this specifically. So it's that adds another dimension to the book, I think, as well. But
the graphics, yeah, they are beautiful. And what I really loved about your book is it's something that parents could also, you know, read as a family, or teenagers can read it. It's applicable to all ages. So in about 2 weeks' time, 2 to 3 weeks' time, the book will be available on, was it Eagle? What was their website again?
Lion Eagle.
LionEagle.com.
LionEagleVision.com.
LionEagleVision.com. Check it out in 2 to 3 weeks' time. So probably about June. Check out LionEagleVision.com.
It should be, it will be up by then, and you know it will be pushing it on our sites as well, all of our sites once it goes. So it'll be on our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and Instagram sites and everything. So it'll be available. Yeah, and look, what you said is true, Susanna. It really is for anyone can read this, and that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be simple. I mean, it works on the old KISS principle. Keep it simple, you know, and that's what I want. I want everyone. And my goal is to impact and influence as many people as I can that can make changes. Because out of that, I've got goals for foundations here in Bali that I want to be able to help. And if the book works, they'll be helping them as well. So that will be a big plus out of it.
Great. Thank you, Chris. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure having you here. Let us tell everybody what your experience was like with Your Two Minds and the Success Magnet program.
Wow, where do I start? I mean, look, being able to spend nearly 6 months with you was just amazing. So that's been brilliant. It's just enhanced our relationship even more, which is something I always valued, and you know that from day one. The course, look, I learned so much out of it. I picked up so much information from it. There was so many golden nuggets in there that if you didn't get something out of it, you need to go and shake your head and really, you would have missed something. And I know that I know everyone got something. I think the other amazing part was, without a doubt, was being able to work and spend time with Brian Proctor, obviously. you know, that was like that just took the cake to another level. You know, that was really the cream on top of the cake with you guys, and then of course obviously Chris Smith coming in as well. So you know,
Yes.
you what you put together, Susanna, what you, Brian, and now Chris have put together, is something I would recommend to anybody. If you are serious about what you're doing, and you want to change your life, and you want to grow, and you want to go somewhere, then you know the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself, and that's the first thing you should always invest in. That's your first investment, whatever you do. This is something that I believe, you know, if you're serious about what you're doing, you need to invest in this. Yes, you know, whoever's watching this, whoever looks at it, invest in this, because you'll get more back than you ever paid for the course, and it'll change your life.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. I genuinely believe that Success Magnet came through us, through Brian and I, just through a conversation we had, and then we did a webinar, and it was just, I believe it was Bob Proctor working through us, and so does he actually. And I tell you now, we created something above and beyond what we could ever imagine. It is truly powerful. Get Chris's book, get into Success Magnet, combine the two, and you will be flying high. Thank you very much, my dear friend, my colleague, and one of the most incredible, gorgeous people that I know, Chris Payne. Thank you for being with us here today. Any final words before we end?
No, I think you've covered everything off pretty well. Well, there is a quote that I've got that goes, that's on, we've got on the website, and it says, if you want to do something if you want to change something you've always done, you've got to do something. I don't know, see the website. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it fits into that at any rate. So.
Yeah, I think I do know the quote. If you want to do something you've never done, you have to become someone you've never been. I don't know if it's the same quote, but there is a quote that like that. Yeah. So,
it's
and it takes work, and
it
takes stretching and growing. So you've got to step up and become the person that you've only ever dreamed of being. And it's all there in there for you. You can tap into that person. We all need a mentor. And thank you so much, Chris, again, for being with us here today. Enjoy the beautiful weather in Bali. God
Absolutely.
bless.
You too. Thanks, Susanna. See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.